guys, finally he sleeps back again with another video in the Market Trick series. We're kind of finishing out Team of the Season. If you're following along with this, I think, what is this, episode 13 now, something like that. And we fluctuated from, I think we started at about 1 billion coins, went up to about 7-8 billion coins, dropped it back down, and ended at about 4 billion coins, and went into Team of the Season and thought, let's just go for broke, and invested 4 billion coins into this in hopes that the ultimate Team of the Season would require shards in excess over what you needed for everything else, and then possibly the exchanging in the regular player, which is what we've always had in the past, for the ultimate version, in which case you were going to need an unbelievable amount of shards, and the value on the Team of the Season players should have skyrocketed. And we went in and invested a ton. And I think in the very beginning, I was buying these in the 18 to 19 mil range for the first couple of days, and then backed off, started buying them at around 17 mil to kind of come in here and to finish out the 4 billion coin investment, and took it down to about, I think I had 100 million coins in my account. And over the last week, we've seen them push back up into like the 22, 23 million range. And I jumped on that as soon as I possibly could, just because once they released the ultimate Team of the Season and let us know exactly what ultimate Team of the Season was going to look like, it became apparent that these things were never going to reach their potential. So even if I could get 20 mil out of these minus the 10% tax, I'm breaking even, if not making a little bit on a lot of them if they were bought in that 16, 17 mil range when they were at their minimum value at the investment. So even at 19 mil, getting 19 out of these, it's still breaking even. And this was the process over like 4 days, because they fluctuate from the morning to the night. There's peaks and there's troughs throughout the day of where their value goes up and down about 1 million out of 20. So it's like 5% increase or decrease. But when you're trying to break even or at least show some profit, it does make it, that 5% makes a difference when you're talking hundreds of players that you've got to unload, and you can only do 25 at a time. And when you're trying to feed them into the market and not worrying about what people are paying for them or buying them at, sometimes these things take a few hours to sell on the global market. So this has been a very, very tedious and long process to kind of work this way through. So we'll skip ahead because I've got a lot of video footage of this. This is all cut together over the course of the week, just because it wasn't like I could go in and sell everything. I had to do it all piece by piece to get max value as what we could. So now we're back. This is about the last, I think, day and a half, and we're up to 3.3 billion. We're getting really close to finishing this out and selling these off. I think I've got just a handful left to be able to do maybe 60, 70 at this point, trying to push it through. The final numbers did reach about 4.3 billion when everything was all said and done. The final count on selling all the stuff. Now, that doesn't actually mean that I made profit on this, because over the course of the last 3-4 weeks, when the investment was made, I was also accumulating players throughout the event. And, there was just running your daily stuff does generate some coins. So full disclosure, I didn't break even. I didn't make coins. I probably lost some coins over the course of the whole thing, just because obviously you're not getting back everything you're putting in over the course of that time. Here it is, last day of Team of the Season. This is the final match as far as the ultimate Team of the Season. You had to do, was it 39 matches or 39 runs through all of that to claim all of your shards and rewards. And I maxed out where I was as far as claiming players and kind of making the team where I wanted it. So at this point, I don't need any more shards, but I'm going to actually go for I think it's 3 universal rank players are possible at the end. I started this out at just over 111 OVR with the full Liverpool squad, and the goal was to try to hit 113 by the end of team of the season. And that's a 2 OVR jump. That's pretty big, especially when you're trying to keep a full past and present Liverpool squad. They released, let's see, there was Gerrard, we had Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah, and there was also Alonso in there at center mid. There was, let's see, who else? There was a Dalglish striker, as well as a Suarez striker, and Diaz at left wing, and a couple other center mids that were lower OVR that didn't really benefit it, and then obviously Van Dijk. The difference was, though, Van Dijk, team of the season standard Van Dijk really wasn't that much of an upgrade over ultimate team of the year, which I have. So I said, okay, we're gonna minimize all of the effort in this, and I want to make the biggest jumps possible. Switching out from ultimate Van Dijk team of the year to just team of the season Van Dijk was no bonus, and I only gained a tiny increase in ability if I go to the ultimate, but the expense needed for that was a lot. I did splurge. I wanted ultimate team of the season Salah at right wing, so I used my shards to claim him right away. I wanted ultimate Salah just because that's where I build from. Right wing is where the majority of it comes from. But then once I saw ultimate Suarez at striker, my childhood kicked in, and I had to have Suarez in the squad. So that Suarez Dalglish combo up top had to happen, just because that is, I mean, the only thing I'm missing is Sturridge in there at right behind. Those 3 would be amazing. But again, I went with what I had and the shards that I had to use, because again, wasn't going to spend any money on team of the season, just trying to get out what I could out of just playing the event. And the final count was swapped out, collected Gerrard at center mid, collected Suarez at striker, ultimate Suarez at striker, collected ultimate right wing Salah, and Dalglish. Grabbed Dalglish in at striker. So those 4 were used with shards. Now, not all of those shards came from doing the exchanges and spending gems. I did use some of the players that I was selling to get back my 4.3 bill. When I got back to 4.3 billion, I still had players left. I converted them to shards and collected what I could. And then at the very end, right as you come through on that last bit of Ultimate Team of the Season, I collected a 106 or 107, I can't remember, that was worth 100 and some shards, which I'm not even going to use. So it kind of was a bust, as far as I could have sold a lot of those players. I could have sold those players for more coins rather than using them for shards if I would have waited until after I had collected my the free 105 to 109 or whatever the player was in the ultimate tab. So I kind of screwed myself there. But again, I think I ended up, there it is, 4.3 billion coins. And I still have a lot to do as far as players to sell. I want to make some more changes, because right now the team was at 112, and the changes I'd like to make is I was waffling back and forth between ultimate Alexander-Arnold at right back, because the bump at him for right back was a 2-point bump over whatever Alexander-Arnold I had to go 113, and then Allison. UCL Champions League Allison. Yes, I am throwing in a 105 at goalkeeper. So he'll max out at 110 when he's said and done. And then I am going to claim, or I'm going to buy Alexander-Arnold. So when it's all finished out, I had to buy 2 players. I used all of my shards, including the players that I bought to invest into shards to claim them. And it's a completely different team. 113 now for it. The only players that are remaining from before are the defensive left back, both center backs, and Diaz at left wing. Did everything else change? I think it's possible that everything else changed. See, Arnold sold, and we could sell those last couple of players that we needed. So we're back down. Final number, $834 million to start reinvesting into the new event that was just released. But again, let's see, Alexander-Arnold and Allison are the only 2 tradable players now. And the only ones that stayed was Kona, Dyke, Reese at left back, and Barnes. Everybody else is new. Oh, and Dirk Cut. So what did we do? We picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new players and jumped 2 OVR. And it cost all of team of the season plus 3.5 billion coins, 3.5 billion coins to make that jump. All right, I'm happy at 113. To go to 114, though, it's going to take a bunch because I'm barely into the 113s at this point. It took Alexander-Arnold to push it over to 113. So to take this Liverpool squad all the way to 114 would be a big jump. A big jump. And the only thing out there right now that I can swap out on here is I could put Alonso in. I think Alonso would jump cut 1. There's a Diaz that could swap out Barnes to 113, I think. And then ultimate team of the year Van Dijk would be another small bump over there, but not enough to get it to 114. I don't see a 114 full Liverpool squad as being possible. I might be wrong. If I am, let me know. If you guys see a way to get to 114 with a full Liverpool squad, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to wait until the next couple of events release before those numbers hit. That's where it is. 800 million to invest. And we'll start again. Next week, we'll see what we can do with this new event. I'm FinallyHeSleeps. As long as you guys keep hanging out, I'll keep making videos.
Finally he sleeps, finally he dreams. In a world of games it seems.